Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this Wednesday's episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde, and today we are hitting on day 8 of Chicago Bears 2022 training camp series. We're going to be covering a lot from the second day of pads, so you're not going to want to miss this one. Teven Jenkins was out for the 6th consecutive day today, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't at Halas Hall. According to Matt Eberflus, he was there today working with trainers. Kind of want to keep an eye on that one, considering that there are rumors that were going around a couple days ago that he was being shopped. So a lot of new information about Teven Jenkins coming out. We got that all covered for you. But also, the Bears keep shuffling the offensive line. Rough day for them. Justin Fields apparently has a new favorite target that he was able to admit out loud, and much more. But before we begin, we'd like to thank today's sponsors, Stupid Car Tray. Tired of your pizza topping sliding, office coffee distracting you while driving, grease and other stains getting on your seat, or you're just enjoying a game on the couch and don't want to lean over? Look no further than the Stupid Car Tray. Visit www.stupidcartray.com and use discount code J16 to get 16% off your entire order. Link in the description. We love the Stupid Car Tray, especially now that it has cup and mug holders. And when I talk about cup and mug holders, literally mug, bam, goes in perfectly. Don't have to worry about the handle. And cup holders hold a canteen perfectly for those hot summer days when you want to keep something cool in your car and don't have to worry about getting warm. Use code JAY-SHY, that's J-SHY, for 16% off your entire order when you order at stupidcartray.com. Link is in the description. But let's hit on the offense to start today. So Matt Eberflus came out with a statement about Teven Jenkins earlier today. When asked if it was injury related, why Jenkins wasn't on the field, all he said was, yeah, Jenkins was spotted with trainers all day today, so not sure what's going on. He also did tweet out last night when everyone was like, hey, man, I see some negativity going around about you. What's going on? He said, I'm good. Don't believe everything that you're reading. So things are happening with the Chicago Bears and Teven Jenkins. That is getting hot. It's getting weird. It's overall, like, the situation itself is just an interesting situation. We're going to keep monitoring that. So make sure you follow us on social. That's where we're posting first. Matt Eberflus also today announced that the starters, especially the offensive side of the ball, will get a good amount of playing time against the Kansas City Chiefs next Saturday at Soldier Field in their first preseason game. Good news for those going to the game, good news for the team, and good news that Coach Eberflus wants this team to get after it and get ready for in-season shape. So I know some people might be concerned about that, but I look at that as a positive because if you're too fragile with them, their bodies won't be used to this type of play. But if you're overly aggressive, it could lead to injury and it could mess up the first couple of weeks of the season. So I think Eberflus knows well, especially being a coach on successful teams in the past, also having a very strong coaching staff, that they know their limits here. So let's move into what I kind of hit on earlier to start the episode, was that the offensive line had a rough day. According to reports that Justin Fields was running for his life today during 11-on-11. A lot of broken up plays, a lot of checkdowns, a lot of throwaways, just not good. A lot of pressure given up. But again, you are missing Lucas Patrick. You are missing Teven Jenkins. They might have had some guys out today as well. And they're trying to figure out their depth guys. They're giving them experience going against a tough defensive line, which this defense is going to be tough. There is no doubt about that. I also just want to put that out there today. But Matt Eberflus did go off a little bit on them today, I guess, according to reports. He was not happy with how the offensive line played. So there's going to be a lot more drills and a lot more coming out on that. So stay tuned. And unfortunately, a lot of those running situations happened in the red zone again. So not what you want to hear, but again, it's training camp, folks. I'm not too worried about it yet. If this is week 5 in the season and things are still going down, then I'm going to start getting worried about this offensive line. So, but a good thing is that Braxton Jones has got a lot of attention of head coach Matt Eberflus. We like where he's at, unquote, according to coach in his pre or post practice interview when asked about how he is progressing. Like to hear that from the rookie, especially being a late round pick and also making himself known that he could be a starter on this roster. So stay tuned for that. Excited to see what Braxton Jones brings, especially when the coach is looking out for that. A little bit on the wide receivers and tight ends. Wide receiver Darnell Mooney had a couple nice snags today, according to some video that we saw on Twitter. Mooney was spotted breaking ankles of Kyler Gordan and Jaquan Brisker. So good to see that he's making the rookies put in work and giving them the good experience of going against a top wide receiver. And it's just good that Mooney is really, really taking it seriously that he wants to be the number one receiver in the NFL. Said that a couple episodes ago that he said that post-practice one time, and I'm happy he's sticking to it. Had some nice touchdown grabs today from Justin Fields, and all good there. But that's not his new favorite target that I was talking about at the beginning of the episode. His new favorite target, Fields said himself, and favorite is maybe my words a little bit, but he said a strong target. So I think it sounds like, but the way Fields talked about it and didn't talk about anybody else, it's good to hear, is Equanimeous St. Brown from the Green Bay Packers that we picked up in free agency, the 6'5" wide receiver. Didn't get a lot of playing time in Green Bay, but he knows the Luke Getsy offense, and he was signed after Luke Getsy came to Chicago. Luke Getsy is the Bears offensive coordinator, for those who don't know. He was the quarterbacks and assistant offensive coordinator in the Green Bay Packers. But according to Justin Fields, he knows the offense the best out of all receivers. Again, worked with it with Getsy. So it's good to see that we're going to have a decent offense on the field if, Justin Fields is saying that. But it makes sense because he does come from Green Bay. I really think he's going to have an impact on this roster, and I think he's going to make this roster. I know that we just picked up N'Keal Harry, who is another big target, but why not keep both of them? The Bears are going to take some guys on the practice squad as well, but St. Brown really has been impressing. He's caught, numerous passes in the end zone over defensive backs. Even Eddie Jackson, he's been, ripping up a little bit, who's a bigger defensive back. So good to see that. Another person that I'm shocked to talk about today is wide receiver David Moore. Dealing with some off-field drama. He unfortunately was arrested a couple of weeks ago. But Moore has been, obviously he's out, but he's been, very focused during camp, especially with everything going on outside of work, and, kind of having that little, salt in the wound that he's got to put in work to make this roster. Obviously Seattle did not want him back, but he's been looking really good so far. According to Clay Harbor, he was quick and runs precise routes. Again, a good veteran presence on this team. So keep a lookout for him battling for that final roster spot, because the Bears do have a lot of wide receivers so far on this roster. It's kind of crazy to say, but I mean, the Bears are not going to put 7 wide receivers on this roster. I'm just putting that out there. It would be crazy if they did, but David Moore definitely had an impressive day today. Justin Fields as well. His arm looks great through camp so far. Bears released their first camp video, and it just shows him throwing dimes everywhere. Had another couple nice dime passes today, especially on the deep ball to Velus Jones Jr. So even though he's running for his life, he's still making plays. He's going to have to with this current offensive line, unfortunately, from how it sounds. But I still have faith in this offensive line that they're going to get it together. So stay tuned for that. But our guy, Justin Fields, is doing pretty good so far. And running back David Montgomery today said that this team is on their way up to the top to win again. He said, quote, "We're going to prove a lot of people wrong because they're looking at us the wrong way," unquote. He's having a really strong camp so far. It's looking like he's going to have another strong season. And it low key is a contract year for him too. He's going to want to be extended and be a Chicago Bear. I'm very excited to see what David Montgomery does this year. Not too much from the defensive side of the ball. Let's flip over there real quick. But Coach Eberflus and defensive coordinator Alan Williams are working hard on stamina with these guys, according to reports. The Colts had one of the best stamina defenses last year, and I think coaches are starting to get to the idea that, hey, this offense is still a little behind the defense. Probably going to have to be on the field a little bit more this season, but let's have a high stamina team that's able to go out there and be on the field much longer than needed. Unfortunately, but again, offense is coming together. It's all going to work out in the long run. One season's not going to kill these guys. So unfortunately, that's what it is. But one more thing I want to talk about today on the defensive side of the ball. Again, not too much on the defense from what I saw from Bears Twitter. So thank you for all the reporters out there. But I like what he did. Head coach Matt Eberflus brought in former Chicago Bear Charles Tillman to work with Jaquan, Brisker, and Kyler Gordan. Obviously, the 2 first picks of this year's past draft, the future of the secondary. What they did was they went to the cafeteria and discussed different ways of how to force turnovers and how to better read the field. For rookies, this is so impactful, especially from a guy that did so much for the Chicago Bears and is literally known for turning over the ball because of a famous peanut punch. So great for him. But I love what Coach Eberflus is doing by bringing in these guys. He's reached out to so many alumni to come in and talk to the younger guys about how to be better and how to play the game of football. I hope that they bring in Brian Urlacher. I really do. I think that he'd be awesome for the linebacker group, and especially talking to Roquan Smith and building that relationship, or even Lance Briggs, or both. I think that'd be really great for the team. So that's about it from today in regards to training camp. Day 2 of pads went very well. Again, no big injury reports, which is great. Knock on wood. Hope that continues. But the Bears are off tomorrow, it looks like. Let me just give you guys a quick confirmation on that. But in the comments, I want to hear you guys talking about, how you guys feel about Matt Eberflus, how he's handling this team. I would like to hear more from you guys about what you think that they're doing. I think they're doing a fantastic job. I can talk about it all day, obviously, but I do want to hear what you guys have to say. So, training camp schedule. They are off tomorrow, August 4th, but they are back Friday, August 5th. And then they have a private practice on Saturday and another one on Sunday. So we'll keep you guys updated as practice continues forward. But with that, thank you very much for joining this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Brody, and we'll see you guys next time.